To be a living organ donor, you can help someone in need of more than just a typical kidney transplant. Our next guest is living proof of being the life-saving gift to an 11-month-old baby. Let's welcome Cecilia Esterline, who joins us during National Donate Life Month. Great that you could be here with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
What a beautiful gift.
Thank you.
So what was it that you donated to this baby?
I donated a portion of my liver, actually, just over a year ago.
I don't think a lot of people realize that you can donate more than just a kidney as a living donor.
Right.
And when did you come to this realization that you wanted to be an organ donor, a living organ donor?
I had actually looked into living organ donation a few years ago, but it wasn't the right time at the moment, and so actually it was my father. He fell ill, and first they thought he might need a kidney transplant. So I said, well, put me in, I'm ready. I have already looked into this a bit. But actually they discovered that he actually had liver failure as well. And so I wanted to be able to donate to him, but unfortunately he was too sick to undergo transplant.
Sorry.
So when he passed in June of 2023, I decided I was already willing to give it up to my father. I can give it up for someone else as well. And so I started the process to become a non-directed donor for someone who I didn't know.
That's incredible. And I'm so sorry to hear about your father's passing. But what a beautiful legacy that he has left behind, which is you, his daughter, who's gone on to help a child live a full life. So the baby, what did you learn about the baby? Did they tell you very much about the child?
Yeah, so actually, during the whole process ahead of time, you don't know anything about the recipient. I didn't know if I was going to have a match at all until really I had been in the process for several months of testing and MRIs and CT scans and everything to make sure that I'm really healthy and able to do this surgery safely. And it was just about 3 weeks before surgery, they said, we have a pediatric recipient. Do you think we can expedite? And I said, of course, let's go for it.
Wow.
And I really didn't learn much about her other than she was an 11-month-old baby girl until after the surgery. And it was when I got to meet her a few months after surgery that I learned so much about her story and how she came to need the liver. And so it was really going into the surgery, I didn't know much about her at all.
Oh my goodness. So you met her when she was just a little toddler.
Right.
So how is she doing today?
She is doing so well. She just goes to the hospital for a 1-month checkup. She just is doing so well. She's learned to walk, learned to talk, everything that they didn't think she was going to be able to do.
That's beautiful. So when you undergo the surgery and that whole process, people are worried, that their life is never going to be the same, and that may be what is the barrier that stands between them and actually becoming a donor themselves. So what was the process like once you had the surgery and life after?
Sure, so I won't say that it's a minor surgery, of course. You have some recovery time.
How long was the surgery?
It was about 6 hours.
6 hours, so it's pretty intense.
It's a pretty intensive surgery. They have to be very careful about, how you undergo to make sure there's no bleeding or that kind of thing. But realistically, I was walking around in the hospital the day after surgery, and I joke that we were scattering my father's ashes at the top of a mountain a week after surgery. So I was climbing a mountain a week after surgery. And
profound timing.
Right, exactly. It was really symbolic timing for me as well. And so, of course, there's a period where you have to kind of rest and take things a bit easier. But I was back to ballet, back to yoga, back to all of my physical activities within 2 months. So, and now, a year after surgery, truly the scar is the only thing that I have left to show even that I had the surgery at all.
No dietary changes,
nothing at all.
Nothing at all. And I mean, you look just like the picture of health anyways. So that's good for people to see that. What advice would you give those who are on the fence about making that choice if they want to become a donor or not? Because certainly it's an altruistic endeavor, but there's a fear attached to it.
Sure. I would say that there was a lot of fear that people had, and they explained to me before they knew who my recipient was. When I was kind of describing donation in the abstract and I didn't know who my recipient was going to be, there was a lot of hesitation. But as soon as people saw the baby girl that wasn't going to make it to her first birthday if she didn't have this surgery, and now they see her running around, learning to walk and talk, I think there's less hesitation around it, and also seeing how I got through it on the other side. So I would say that everyone has the power within them to save a life.
Well, Transplant SC does fantastic work. Transplant Talk SC, excuse me. and they can help with mentorship. They can answer a lot of your questions. If you want to find out more information, you can certainly go to them. Cecilia, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll be back after this.